Keeping up with hair color is a commitment, and sometimes it just gets to be too much, especially if you choose a look that is extremely different than your natural color. Owner of Cutting Loose Salons, Coral Please, is here with stylist Ty Nightingale, and we are going to talk about model Mary's transformation. Great to have everybody here. I'm going to start by picking on Mary since she was willing to talk to us. What made you want to stop going through the whole process of color?
I was getting ready to turn 30 times 2.
Okay, fair.
So
I love that.
I thought it was just time for a little change. So I went and saw Ty, and he helped me go through this transition.
And Coral, I know when we talk about hair color transition, you're always so quick to tell everybody this is not immediate. Like you can't walk in one way and walk out the other if you're going to natural.
Yes, and as you saw in the before photos, like that was her true before.
Okay.
But then it was midway through was the other photo, and then so.
All right, so you went from kind of a reddish brownish to kind of halfway in between.
Right.
And I said, you know, when you think of gray, it's salt and pepper, where it's easy to put the pepper in, as you can see in that photo. But now this is truly her natural, although, Ty, how much on the ends is still the color?
So I would say about like the mid-length to the ends is still like the color that's in there.
Okay, so you're just letting it grow.
Yeah.
Well, after he lightened it and made it look salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so is the dark a color additive, or is that her true natural?
That's mine as well.
I love
so this from her root to there is about her natural now. So.
And then the rest is what Ty created.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the million-dollar question. How do we know what's lurking under here? Coral, what is my natural color? You know, but I mean, fair question. How did you just both know that Mary has beautiful natural tones? Are we all this lucky? And I'm thinking no.
I would just say it really just starts with like learning their the color story and seeing what's living under, what they like, getting them to really asking them the questions of what's going on, so we can kind of decipher what we can do.
But honestly, not everybody has beautiful salt and pepper hair. So that's what I'd shared with Mary in the room. Like, she was very fortunate. It is gorgeous.
Well, oh, it definitely is.
Until it grows out a couple inches, you really don't know.
Okay, so is that the advice on how to know?
Yes.
Let it grow a little bit?
Yes.
Rather than freaking out when we see roots like most of us do, let it go a little bit and then have a conversation?
Yeah, because then we can see what we can do and what we can achieve.
And Coral, I think you are always very good about encouraging guests to look at the natural, but you were talking about her skin tone and her eyes and how that is so important.
I said, meeting Mary like this, I can't imagine her with that auburn dark hair, because that cooler tone on her skin and eyes is way more flattering than an auburn tone. And I'm sure she sees that now too. Right,
That looks great.
Yeah.
And then in terms of maintenance, I mean, gosh, we're almost down to very little, right, Ty?
Yeah, very little. We just kind of go in with just some toners and some glazes, and then maintenance products with like Silverati and.
Yeah, let's talk about the line, because I know that Orbe has specific products for graying and salt and pepper hair.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got Silverati, which has a little bit of a purple silver tint to it, so it's going to give her that tonality. And then we kind of pair it with Gold Lust line, so that's going to get in there and give her some repair from the inside out.
Now, what about the beautiful sleekness of her hair? I mean, I saw in some of the other ones you definitely have some fuzzy, I call it fuzzy texture, because that's the hair I have, is fuzzy textured hair. But how are you keeping it so sleek in this humidity?
It was from Ty.
Ty has wonderful products.
I wanted her to look beautiful.
Yeah.
And how does she replicate that at home?
So yeah, at home she typically does blowouts at home. So she does her round brush and gets her smoothing products in there, and kind of just, she doesn't typically do it this smooth. So,
and that's why we have hairstylists. That is the treat. Well, it is absolutely wonderful. So for anybody that's thinking, you know what, maybe I am ready to find out what lurks below, as I like to say, what's your parting advice?
Well, I think it started during COVID, and a majority of those guests really did go back to coloring their hair, I think. But as I told Mary, 30 times 2, I love that.
Yeah.
There is that magic age where it doesn't age you. And I think that 55 to 65 is that age. So, you know, just go with it. And then if you don't like it, Ty can always change it.
That's right. You can always go back. That is for sure.
Right.
All right. For any of your hair styling, color, and overall questions, Coral and her team are wonderful at sitting down with everybody and making you feel beautiful. CuttingLooseSalon.com.